Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to part 4 of supercharging my MX5. Today's video is all about attempting to fit the kit itself. You might have seen in the other video basic outlay of the kit. So here's just a basic run again. That's from the supercharger across the engine to the intake manifold. So it should look cool. Hopefully everything goes alright there. That's the main bracket that goes onto the engine and the supercharger bolts onto. And there's my throttle body that I sort of had to do a little bit of customizing to make a little plate up for the back of it. So that's all looking good. And this is the actual intake into the supercharger itself. And this bit here is the main bracket pulley that the belt's going to go through, and this is what I'm going to attempt to do first. It seems like it's the central point of the kit really, so we'll start there. Because this kit didn't come with any instructions or anything at all, it's all guesswork really. So what I'm going to do for starters is start looking at pulling some of these bits off. It looks to me as though this has to go, so there's a bolt there and there's 2 bolts just in here that I'll have to get to actually remove this bracket here. This bit here obviously stays because that's going into the power steering unit itself. So it looks like if I undo that one there and then 2 connected to the unit itself, this bracket should come off. So we're going to give that a go for starters and see what happens. Alright, well here we are. And now I'm going to try and get this bracket here off if I can, because it's going to be in the way of the actual kit itself, the main bracket. It's got to use this bolt, and I think it's either that bolt there or this one underneath. But either way, this has got to come off because the kit's got its own kind of system here. So what I'm thinking about doing actually is just taking this long bolt off, the long one out, so I can take it off and I can work it from there, because it's moving around a lot. So when I go to undo this bolt here, I just can't get any inertia on it. I can't get any, torque on it. So I'm going to take this long bolt off and move it off to here and then see what we've got. That's the bugger there we have to get. And that one there, first thing I'll do is I think I'll take that one there off actually. Okay, that's done. Got that bracket off. That's not going to be needed anymore. I've pushed it down as far as I can and tightened it up so I've got a bit of room there to move. And now it's time to see if this is going to fit. Yep, that's going to fit perfectly actually. That's cool. So I might have to move this around, might be in the way. 17 miller. Okay, well, that's in. A little bit tricky just to work out exactly what I had to do, and that is all a bit cleaned up now. It looks pretty good. I'm not sure if this power steering hose is actually going to be a bit too close. We'll have to see, but I haven't tightened it right up yet because it'll allow for a little bit of movement here and there, and I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen in the next stage. But yeah, it's in. It looks pretty good. It all bolts up good. Everything lined up. So yeah, happy. Next step I think is to maybe start looking at what's going to happen at the intake end, because I'm a little bit suspect about some of this plumbing and how close these fans are. Dreading to see what's going to happen there, but let's give it a go. Alright, let's give the pipe to the intake manifold go. I'm a little bit suspect about this because I've seen pictures of the kit and that was with a standard radiator, but with this one I've actually got, like, it's about 42, 43 mil, and so it brings it, you know, further into the engine bay. And the photo I saw, man, it was close to these fans, like really close, and that was with a standard one, which is a little bit further back or to the front of the car. So we're going to give it a go and see what happens. I'm hoping it just clears all these bits, but if it doesn't, well then we're going to have to rethink a few things. Okay, let's give this pipe a go. I think my problem's going to start right here, but let's see what happens. Yep, straight away. There's no way I can get that in there while that's there. I'm feeling that's going to continue on across there as well. What the hell I'm going to do about that? But I think the first thing we're going to have to do is make some adjustments to this. No way that's going to work. I know I looked at the photos of the kit, and the tolerance gap is tiny. The stock radiator is sort of about, you can take that about that much off, it's really thin. So that 10, 15 mil is that. And that's going to be a real bastard. Oh well, I think I might have to do some panel beating to this fan cowling, or completely take it out. I mean, they do run on one anyway. I suppose that's an option. But I think the first thing I'm going to have to do is try and maybe hit that down a bit so I can get it past, because there seems to be, there's a big gap in here. I mean, you could probably bash it in 10 mil and you'd still be fine. I just don't want to lose any integrity out of the actual unit itself. Not going to stay together very well. Oh well, let's see what we can do. Alright, that's sorted. Had to make a little cut in the cowling just here, and I had to bash in that strut there just a bit so that it would get past. So yay, that's great, because I didn't have to wreck anything. Fan still goes around, so I'll be able to keep my dual fans. Next thing is to take a little bit out of this one just to be safe. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's pretty much where it needs to be. That's all good, that's clearing, but there's just that little bit of, just not enough to get past there. So I'm gonna alright, that's done, and it looks like we've got a bit of success here. That's lining up and it's flush. I'm missing everything here, and as you can see, I had to make a slight cut here through the plastic, just on the fan, the support here, but it hasn't taken any strength or integrity out of it. And as you can see, it allows me to get past that with pretty much a straight line ahead. The only other thing might be here, and if so, well, I'll just take a little bit more out of there, but actually that's pretty good. It's pretty straight, and there's a bit of wriggle room with this, of course, so I'm going to call that a success for starters. Nice. As my cat's decided to make an appearance, that's Sabbath. He always hangs around. He loves my car, especially standing on the roof. Little bugger. Anyway, right. The next step is I think I'm going to have to put the supercharger on, do like a mock-up. Really, I'm not going to bolt it all up at the moment because there's a couple of things I want to do, including servicing the supercharger before I put it on. But I think I need to actually mock it all up, including the supercharger itself, just so I know for sure about these gaps and the tolerance I've got, and whether I need to shave a little bit more off here or here. Okay, so I'm going to put on the main bracket that bolts onto the engine and that the supercharger bolts onto. This is probably going to be one of the easiest aspects of the job, 2 bolts. I'm not going to tighten them right up, I'm just going to finger tighten them because I'm sure there's going to be some jostling around of things as they go onto the kit. So I'm just going to tighten these up. Okay, let's give this a go. See what happens. I'm hoping that I can bolt this in, and then I can put the horn in underneath, because it's actually quite heavy with both of them together. So okay, that seems pretty good. Pretty loose, obviously. I lost my 18, so this is a 3/4, so it seems to be big enough. It's a perfect fit. Solid. That one's just not quite right, actually. Okay, see, this will fit under somewhere or another. Yep. Gonna have to take out a lot more of this to get that to line up. So like this one here, as far as I can get it, it won't go any further than that because of that. But I think it's not that much. It's, you know, I've got to find 20 mil somewhere in here. So, but It's going to look cool. Oh well, there you go. We've kind of got a supercharger kit on the engine now. It's all just a mock-up. Nothing's been tightened up, obviously, because I've had to do a bit of modifying along here to make it happen, but it looks pretty good. All the gaps are there. There's really low tolerances, but that's the main thing. I think it's got to be tight. Yeah, so it's looking really good. I haven't bothered putting on the intake yet. That's fairly simple at this point. So yeah, it looks amazing. Look at that. So the next step is to basically bolt it all down and start really putting everything where it needs to be permanently. The only thing I do need is I actually need some bigger Allen keys, because these ones are quite huge. So I'll have to go and get a set of Allen keys tomorrow, which is all good. But yeah, hey, it looks pretty good. This part was tricky, must say. For a second there I was wondering if I was going to get it. But yeah, it looks like everything's in place. I've sort of referenced the photos I had. It's all looking like it's in the right place, so fantastic. And I haven't had to lose any fans. I thought I might have had to delete that one, but luckily, no, which is fantastic. So I think we're going to call that a day. The next step will be pretty much finalising everything, making sure everything's ready to go, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.